Dear learners, welcome back again to MS019 Global Strategies to Sustainable Development. Let us look into the Global Sustainable Development Goals 14. So in this session, we are going to look into the broad area of achieving SDG 14 by 2030 or global progress. So we try to understand what are the global indicators to meet different targets in this session, and we'll have a look into the progress so far made in global level as far SDG report 2024, means latest SDG report. So when we talk about this global goal 14, that is life below water, it talks about conserving the ocean and seas, marine ecosystem. At the same time, it is also talk about sustainably use the world's ocean, seas, and the marine resources. Now, if you look into UNSDG, this indicator framework, you will find that to this particular SDG 14, life below water, it has 10 targets with 11 indicators. But if you look into the issues today in front of us, we know that the ocean has, globally, if you look into the world, the planet is about 97% of the planet, that area, that planet is covered by the ocean. At the same time, we know that the role played by ocean in different material cycle, especially global hydrological cycle, but again to this area of climate change, ocean plays an important role in minimizing the impact of carbon dioxide. That means minimizing the impact of climate change. But unfortunately, as we know, the continuous pressure of human civilization and to this particular ocean environment, that is because of our different activities, that is in danger. Recently, if you look into one of the major issues we are facing is the pollution, the pollution first destination of any of the pollution that arises from the human civilization at last reach to the global, the ocean, depending upon their life cycle. One of those is, plastic pollution, which has had a high impact to the marine environment. In the same time, if we look into the goals of all these activities, the warming of the ocean is increasing, and then we know that the last destination for any of the most of the pollution or pollutants of which is directly related to aquatic ecosystem, especially in rivers, that is in the rivers that created eutrophication in the ocean. Then, because if you look in the global cycles, that nutrient cycles and different cycle, you see acidification of ocean is also happening because of these major roles played by ocean in global hydrological cycle. Then if you look into resources, the human civilization is utilizing now because so much pressure to the resources available, especially in the fish, that's aquatic fish, marine fishes. Overfishing is happening from the last few decades. As we know that the increasing acidification, when acidification is increased, that have direct threats to the marine life, and that is directly linking with looking to the ocean's capacity to moderate the climate change. So at the same time, when we talk about that product, when the ecosystem is degrading slowly, that has direct impact to the community which is depend on that. Say, for example, 90% of the world's fishers are employed in small scale level. So if you look into the threatening degradation happening in ocean, that has direct impact to the livelihood into those fishermen. So if we look all these things as challenges, you know, in front of us, if we're trying to look for a particular for different solution, if we understand in 3-4 main important challenges, over 3 billion people, if you look into resources of global marine resources, over 3 billion peoples, they depend on the marine and coastal biodiversity for their livelihood. So when, as I mentioned a few seconds back, also, pollution is threatening the world's largest source of protein, because that's aquatic, this particularly marine fisheries is one of the important sources of protein, right? So what solution we have to find out? The solution is in front of us. One of those solutions is, we know what are the causes, root causes, sources of this pollution is this human activities. So we need to reduce the pollution, and we need to protect the marine and the coastal ecosystem, so that it will improve the marine quality of marine ecosystem, that will improve the quality, that will limit the problem in the ocean. Again, we know that 40% of world's ocean suffer from overfishing, poor fishing practices, and poor waste management. When we're talking about resources, overutilization, the exploitation of resources is the major factors in declining of the particular resources. In the same time, that has the impact to the fabric of that ecosystem. So we need to end a harmful fishing subsidies which we used to give when civilization was started a few decades back, to improve to efficiently utilize the technology. So we need to stop such kind of fishing subsidies. There are a number of unreported, unregulated, and destructive fishing practices also. So we need to regulate as per the rules, norms of a country or in global context when we talk about ocean, right? Again, one of the major challenges in front of us is coral reefs that provides a home to 25% of all marine life. They are being destroyed due to number of activities like ocean acidification, pollution, etc. That is 25% means, this, when acidification is increasing, right, and system, coral system is threatening, then that have direct impact into the other ecological structure in that marine ecosystem. To limit this impact on coral reefs, we need to fight climate change, we need to reduce the sedimentation, and we need to stop the coral mining, and we need to promote sustainable tourism, because tourism is also one of the factors that have impact to the coral reef environment, ecology of the coral reef. So this sustainable development goal, that 14, life below water, has 10 targets and 11 indicators. Let us have a look into what are the targets and indicators. If you look into first target, that listed as 14.1, first target is banned and significantly reduce marine pollution from all kinds, Right, that most of the pollution we know that are land-based activities. From land-based activities, then number of debris, marine debris is also there, nutrient pollution is also there. To look into, to prevent and significantly reduce what kind of activities we are doing, depending on that, what is the progress so far made. To look into this progress of this particular targets, we have two important indicators. One is coastal eutrophication index, means level of eutrophication, then plastic debris density of plastic debris that is reached to the ocean in that particular area. Then in that, when we look into this index globally, they have different parameters. By utilizing different technology. For example, today when we look into communication technology, information communication technology, advanced technology, for example, iris, remote sensing, we are using such kind of technology to look of such kind of indicator. So one of those is chlorophyll A deviation remote sensing. Here you will see here from 2005, it is declining. That means percentage of chlorophyll is declining from 4.5 to 3.2. So these are some of the indicators, status of global status of this particular indicator. Again, when you look into chlorophyll A anomaly, here also we'll see that is they look into three category: extreme, high, moderate. These are, you will see here in 2022. Extreme is in when the condition is extreme is 1.32, then this in percentage 5.29 and 5.93. So when you look into bits liter per square kilometer, you will see here in 2015 it was in terms of crore, but when you look into 2022, it is in terms of, it is only in 224,679 numbers per square kilometer bits liter. Okay. Again, if you look into this particular bits liter originating, depending on originating sources, that is national land-based sources, that as we know that ends in bits and that ends in the ocean. It is also that is terms of this percentage here. This percentage here you will see in 2017 it's globally it is 65.45, but it is 69.96 in 2022. So it is increasing, right? But when it comes into, it is in the bits, okay? So at least we'll take urgent action. But when it comes into ending in the ocean, that reaches to the ocean, it is from 34.53% in 2017 to 30.04 in 2022. So it is decreasing. So we have taken some action on this. So in that way, different sub-indicators are here. So you will see the performance over here, the progress so far made here. In global context and even in different countries. In case of exported bits liter originating from national land-based sources, here also you will see the figure. If it is, if you look into the land-based sources, this is increasing. If you are looking from 2017 to 2022, it is alert to us. The second target is sustainably manage and protect marine and coastal ecosystem to avoid significant adverse impact. So that needs sustainable management and protection of marine and coastal ecosystem needs the strengthening of their resilience and taking the action for the restoration in order to achieve healthy and productive ocean. So the indicators to look into this target 14.2 is the number of countries, because when you look into the ocean is a ecosystem, it is easily interlinked from one ocean to other. So we need to look into the number of countries using ecosystem-based approach to managing marine areas. When we talk about ecosystem-based approach to the management of all marine ecosystem, now here all countries, participating countries are encouraged to access integrated coastal management and other integrated planning management in national waters. That includes marine spatial planning, then marine protected areas, zoning, and sector-specific management plans. So by end of 2023, there were around 59 countries. They informed that they use ecosystem-based approaches to managing marine areas. That includes the responsible national authorities that delineating the boundaries of integrated coastal zone management plans and assessing the status of implementation of the national plans. So almost all the regions of the world, they have made significant progress in measuring the use of ecosystem-based management, and 93 coastal and marine planning and management plan, 93 countries, they informed that they have properly progressing very well, means out of 198. So if you look into that point of view, we are progressing well, though it is unevenly progressed, uneven across the world. You will see here number of coastal and marine planning management plans by region wise. You will see here from 2023 over the years how we are increasing. Third target related to this goal 14 is minimizing the impact of ocean acidification and also addressing those impacts. That can be possible when we enhance scientific cooperation at all levels. So to look into this, the indicator is average marine acidity. That has to be measured regularly at different places. When we look into this progress also, the number of stations, all ocean basin for which ocean acidification data was reported, that number is increasing, and also providing a clear and a more detailed regional view of the patterns and the trend of acidification around the globe. In 2021, it was around 178 stations. It has increased to 308 in 2022. Now in 2024, it is 638. So in that way, monitoring mechanism, the monitoring progress, the monitoring of ocean acidification, we are properly looking into that. Okay. Target number 4 of this goal is effective regulation of harvesting. And we need to end overfishing, illegal fishing, unreported fishing, unregulated fishing. The same way, the practices, fishing practices, which is destructive to that environment, that particular ecology, and for that we need to implement science-based management plans. We need to restore the fish stocks at the earliest in a timely feasible way. At least we have to maintain the maximum sustainable yield as per biological characteristic, because each population species has their own maximum sustainable yield capacity. We need to maintain that. So to look into this progress, we have proportion of fish stocks within biologically sustainable yield. Here, if you look into this indicator, you will see that in different region, the proportion of fish stock within biological sustainable levels in terms of percentage, it is here 72.8 in 2000, but it is 2015, it is 66.7, now 64.6. See, looked condition we are facing. At the same time, when you look into target number 5, conservation or conserving at least 10% of coastal and marine area consistent with national and international law and based on best available scientific information. One indicator that looks into this progress is coverage of protected areas in relation to marine areas. Okay, how much protection mechanism we are following, how much we are protecting. Here also we will see percentage of mean proportion of marine key biodiversity areas covered by protected areas. That is wherever available. It is, data is provided by different nations. Here, in that case, it is increasing from 26.28% to 45.53% in 2023. That was 26.28 in 2000, when it is 42.88 in 2015. Right? Target 6 is on prohibiting now certain forms of fisheries subsidies, because as I told you that in the beginning of the discussion, that every nation, every country globally also used to give subsidies for different activities to improve fishing in that time to meet the demand when the stock of fish was in plenty in that time, few decades back. So such kind of subsidies, that kind of subsidies that contribute to overcapacity and overfishing, that needs to be eliminated because that brings into illegal, and so we need to check again those subsidies, check again to maintain the maximum sustainable yield of that particular population. Right. To look into these targets, we have indicators, that is degree of implementation of international instruments that aims in combating illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing. So here also you will see, if you look into global context, we are not doing well. It is from 3, 4, 4. Right, it is 2018 this 3. You do level of implementation of particular this instrument, it is only 4. So we need to improve it. Okay, so if we have 5, it is you just see that here in this we need to improve. Okay, when it comes into target number 7, that is increasing the economic benefit to small island developing states and the least developed countries from the sustainable use of marine resources, including through sustainable management of fisheries, aquaculture, and tourism. The indicator is sustainable fisheries as a proportion of GDP in small island developing state, least developed countries, and all countries. So here also sustainable fisheries proportion to GDP. Now, if you look here, it is also used to 2011 we have 0.11 sustainable fisheries proportion to GDP, 0.10, now 0.09. So we need to have we need to improve in this also. When it comes into one of the targets, that is increasing the scientific knowledge, developing the research capacity, transferring marine technology from one nation to another nation, that takes into account the intergovernmental this oceanographic commission criteria and guidelines on the transfer of marine technology that aims to improve ocean health and enhancing the contribution of marine biodiversity to the development of, especially in developing countries, small island developing countries and least developed countries. So the indicators in this target is proportion of total research budget allocated to research in the field of marine technology. So this is the budget you will see here also in 2013. It is in percentage global 1.60. It's suddenly down in 2019-20 due to maybe a region of global pandemic. Now it has come back to 1.14. So this result we will be able to see in another 5-6 years. The target, providing access for small-scale artisanal fishes to marine resources and market. The indicators to look into target is degree of application of legal, regulatory, policy, and institutional framework which recognize and protect access right to small-scale fisheries. This is very much important. This is directly related to improving the livelihood of the region. So here also you will see when it comes to this is for as a high level, this 2018 to 2022, it is 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so in this way, when we look into one of the target, enhancing the conservation, sustainable use of oceans and their resources by implementing international law as reflected in UNCLOS, means United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, that provides a legal framework for the conservation and sustainable use of ocean and their resources. That's also reflected in paragraph 158 of the document, The Future We Want. So the indicators to look into this target is number of countries making progress in terms of ratification, acceptance, and implementation through legal, policy, institutional framework, ocean-related instruments that implement international law that as per UNCLOS, United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, for the conservation and sustainable use of the oceans and their resources. Still, though we are progressing well, still to preserve the blue surface of the world as ocean, to protect the earth, the largest ecosystem, ocean ecosystem, in front of us, despite our continuous effort, coastal eutrophication, ocean acidification, ocean warming, plastic pollution, overfishing, still we are not able to control, we are not able to limit this issue, right? So we have to find out, we have to work out to minimize the eutrophication, ocean acidification, ocean warming, plastic pollution, and overfishing through different mechanisms. In the same time, what we are facing in front of us are, that directly related to this particular improving the livelihood of fishermen community is the contribution of sustainable fisheries, which is one of the important indicator. Sustainable fisheries contribution to GDP is dropping worldwide. Though, if you look into regional wise, in some region, it is going well, but if you look globally, that progress is not up to the mark. At the same time, when we talk about protection of key biodiversity areas in the ocean, from time to time, we need to strengthen global agreement. We need to renew from time to time. As we know that we need to stop the high ocean temperature. This high ocean temperature have triggered a fourth global coral bleaching event. So whatever activities we are doing that has direct or indirect impact to the ocean, sea, and the marine environment. By implementing different policies and programs and regular monitoring of this progress across the world. When you look in globally, the indicator that looks into the marine pollution, if you look into decreasing the marine pollution, our progress is marginally improved. So we need to accelerate it. In the same way, the progress in terms of marine and coastal ecosystem protection, we need to improve. When you talk about stopping the ocean acidification, sustainable fishing, we are regressing. When you talk about conservation of coastal and marine area, that's also marginal improvement is here. When we talk about fisheries subsidies, unlawful or subsidies that given to the fisheries, which have direct impact to the degradation of that fish ecology, in the marine ecology, in that we are at least we are progressing at moderate level. So when we talk about marine resource protection for small island developing states, and when we talk about resource capacity of marine technology, it is also regressing. But when we talk about small scale artisanal fishing, we are on the track, we are trying to, we are meeting the target. So today what we have discussed is we have looked into what are the different targets, indicators, the global progress in a quick way on global UN SDG goal 14, life below water. With this, thank you very much. We'll meet in another session.